happy to be here with you. I'm happy to have you here, and I'm so happy and delighted to be to be on at this time. Happy New Year to you. Thank you. The title and the topic we are dealing with today, if you have any question, please put it on the chat column. Put it on the chat column. I look at this even based on some of the questions that I have recently towards my last quickie message that I brought up on my Instagram. I think it's on my Instagram page. And that brought this topic up onto me. That are you sick and tired of this talk? I don't know about you. I am sick and tired of seeing people being stuck. I am tired and sick of having some dreams, some visions getting stuck. Not even at the midway, but even before it is birth. We are created for purposes. And unfortunately, many of these purposes are being stuck without being birthed. So that is what we're going to talk about today. And it's actually a huge cause that I brought out of this. And after this broadcast, if you have any question, please let me know. Inbox me, email me. My name is Bosede Adetuji. I'm life and leadership coach. My vision and mission to womanhood is just to let you to be that help that can help you to overcome obstacles or that faces your vision, faces your mindset, or faces your purpose in order for you to live a full potential even unto wealth and riches, irrespective of what your background is. God created you for a purpose, and He doesn't contact or consult your past before you manifest in it. So irrespective of where you're coming from or what your past experience is or what are your wins or your failures, I don't want to know. All I know is that vision must come alive, and at the same time, you as the vision carrier thrive in that vision. So without minding much of our words, I want us to go straight into this topic. Are you sick and tired of being stuck? This section is brought to you to empower some of us, to empower people whose dreams and visions are paralyzed or dead. Do you have visions that you have been having in your mind for a long time, but you're stuck in doing it or having it birth? This section is for you. Whether it is paralyzed or it is stuck, it is dead, or it is facing some unpleasant or unplanned for situations, this topic is for you. And I want to start with you. Many of us have gone through some of these statements like, "Oh, I'm stuck in the traffic." When somebody calls you and he says, "Where are you now?" "I'm stuck in the traffic." So sometimes we hear a statement like, "My car is stuck in the mud." That sister is stuck with that brother for life. "Oh, that business is stuck. It cannot go forward." And I know many of us have heard this and similar statements times and times and times before now. These statements are familiar to many of us. I know that. It's familiar. And when you get stuck, it means that you are unable to continue. With probability of you starting a journey and you got stuck, or your car got stuck in the mud, or your family got stuck in a house, so anything goes, you are unable to move. You are in the state of immobility. You are trapped. That business is trapped. That vision is trapped. It's another way that one can say, oh, you are jammed. You are immobile. You are stranded. You are fixed. Somebody is in a fixed position, or that business is in a fixed position, or that vision is perplexed, is paralyzed, is glued. When you're glued, you're not moving. That's when we say you're stopped. And when one is stopped, you are locked up. The word locked up made me to remember the situation the entire world is facing at this period of time. In 2020, late 2019, and the whole 2020 brought this condition, this condition of coronavirus, COVID-19. It brought it into the whole wide world. The whole wide world, nobody was praying for this to come. Nobody was planning for this to come into our existence. Not even our physicians knows what to do. The whole world was taught to say that we all are locked down. We are locked down in our private homes. Many businesses were locked up. There wasn't no businesses. Many relationships were stopped. Many lifestyles were stopped. Many health and wellness were stopped. I cannot imagine the level of stalking that we experience. You are locked up. Thank you. You are stuck. You can get stuck in a dream. Your dream can get stuck because of one thing or the other. You might get stuck. Your dream might get stuck with because of the fear, or because of situations that you are going through, or lack of many things. You can get stuck. You can get stuck. You can get stuck into past experiences. Some people passes through some experiences that they don't even know what next to do. That means they are stopped. Some are into some relationship. I cannot imagine. There was a story of a family during those COVID lockdown period. This couple, the husband, so to say, it was used to waking up in the morning, do his chores, take his cup of coffee, run out of the door to go to his working place. And at 9, 10 p.m., he comes back and the table is already dressed with food and the meal, and for him to go back to the bed again. But COVID-19 coronavirus period made him to get stuck in the house. There's no place to go for work. There's no job to go to do out there. And you know what? The domestic chores that he was not used to. He was not used to, babe, can you take care of the baby's diaper? Babe, can you put on the stove for me? Babe, can you do, honey, can you cook this afternoon? It got to a point that the relationship, the marriage almost collapsed because it was a tension in the house. This man was not used to sitting in the house, talk less of being sent an errand, quote and unquote. It yielded, it developed into, disrespect. How can you be sending me to cook in the house? Disrespect, the quote and unquote, dishonor. I'm the head of this family. So all these are stocking up of relationships. So when you get stuck, so many situations can get stuck. Excuse me. When you get stuck and your dreams and vision got stuck, you know what is so much in the world today. I want you to know that during that COVID-19, I'm not talking about COVID-19 period, but during those periods, because of my position as life and leadership coach, I was exposed to so many calls. I was exposed to so many periods of counseling, light counseling, and as a pastor, I was exposed to so many of prayer sections that only God has helped us thus far. The effect of COVID has made many that lost loved ones. They are yet getting out of the grief. That shows they are stuck into the past. The loss of loved ones that have gone through COVID made some people to get stuck. They don't know how to do what the next step. Many lost businesses, many lost their jobs, many lost money, many lost lifestyle routine. Many lost marriages, many losses were in the here. Not to say the least, even to cope with the new regime, I would say regime, the new system of technology, it's still a problem to many of us. You know, the Orthodox church services in churches, many doesn't even know how to transition into having technology in the churches. So some churches congregations are still stuck. So I don't want to overflow the word stuck into our ears, because I know by now you must have known what it is to get stuck. But notwithstanding getting stuck, I want to let us know that it doesn't have age limits. An adult can get stuck as well as the youth or young ones. It depends on what everybody is going through. It doesn't matter whether you are a religious or non-religious person. It doesn't matter whether you are a Christian or you are a Christian or you are atheist or you are a Muslim. You can get stuck on any situation, at any situation, or on any position in life. It doesn't matter whether you are old. That is, there's no age limit. There's no professionalism in this topic, and there is no scientific proof to show who should get stuck or who should not get stuck. But as a certified life and leadership coach, I want us to know that anytime there's limitation to purposes, anytime there's limitation to your dream in life, anytime there's a limitation to your mobility or moving forward in life, we don't have to sweep it under the carpet. Ignoring it is a problem when we sweep it under the carpet, because sweeping situations that are so humongous, like the word stuck, under carpet will never make wrong to be right. It will never make something that is wrong to be right. Otherwise, it's going to really spoil it, and it might be irreparable. You can imagine the family that got stuck because of the household chores. If there was no intervention, if there was no steps to identify the reason why there's this pressure, and they just starting to, before you know it, there will be malice. Before you know it, there will be bottled grievances. And by the time the bottle, by the time the bottle break, there's going to be a lot of spillage that might not be repairable. So when you get stuck in situations, or your dream got stuck, or your business got stuck, you just need one thing that you just needed is you needed to know that it's a part of life. It is a process in life. It is a situation that needed, number one, it needed restoration. Because there has been a situation that is going on before, but at this point, we needed to restore that thing, that situation that is being on before. It could be a period for restoration. It could be a period to analyze where you are, why you're there, or who brought you here. Because many things, many situations might bring you to that stalking period, position or platform. It could be the period for you to learn a lesson. Maybe you chose wrongly. Maybe you didn't take some process into consideration. Maybe you overflog some situation that is supposed to do lightly. It could even be ego thing. It could be because you have an ego that needed to be addressed. So in that period, I just want us to know that getting stuck in life is natural, in as much as we're still living. But one thing, because the word of God even make us to know that not even only the word of God. There's this common words, that a statement that says it is not a bad thing to fall, but it is a great problem to remain on the ground. So when you get stuck, you just need to analyze, to relearn, or to know that this is a period for restoration. And having known that, you know that our problem it is a problem already, but half solved is a way to move forward. So that is a way of life. So don't kill yourself when you get stuck. And by the way, I have a book called From the Miry Clay. I actually mentioned in a particular page, I mentioned the meaning to be stuck in a clay. The condition that will make you to get stuck in a clay. You cannot imagine if you are somebody like me that imagines scenarios. You can imagine yourself in a mud, in a clay. You can imagine the effort you want to take to get out of that clay. When you're bringing one leg out, the other one is sinking. When you're trying to climb up, if at all there's something to hold on to, there's that tendency for you to go down again. The more the effort, the more you go down. But because you already at that point to analyze, how did I get into this mud? Then is your mind, your subconscious mind will restore that fight and flight hormone into you. You see that you cry out, help, or you manage to use the resources that you have around. So that will be your, otherwise you sink and you die in that mud. So your instinct will just come up. And I want us to know that at this point in time, the instinct of being stuck is a process of life that must come out to either for restoration or to know that you have missed a mark, maybe an ego or some choices that will make you to relearn. I have a topic, a course on relearning that I teach some leaders. So when you fall forward. You don't want to fall and get stuck. You fall forward in order for you to climb out. So that being said, that it is process of life, and when you are still living, you need to go through some process of life. The only thing is you need to expand your horizon to be able to accommodate why you're there and what you need to do to get out. I want to see your comments. I want to see your questions. I want to see your contributions. And please help me to share and call on your contact to join us. This is a huge topic that we needed to address so that life will be meaningful for every one of us. Even the community will be so beautiful to live in. We don't want anyone to get stuck. We don't want some visions to go into the grave. No, not under my watch again, except if you don't want to manifest in your vision. So no businesses should go into the grave again, because we are in the dispensation. We are in the dispensation to make dreams to work. Otherwise, except if you don't want to if you have the power of choice anyway. So please share this. So having known that this is a process of life, I want to shift a little bit to what even the scripture tells us. This is not a section to preach. I'm not going to preach. But we all know the story of Abraham in the book of Genesis chapter 12. God approached Abraham by himself. God approached him by himself and gave him the covenant promise of the father of nations. You will not believe that at the point in life of Abraham, he got stuck with this covenant promise. And it took him a span of 25 years. 25 years. He had pitfalls, he had journeys, he moved around with his brother, his cousin, that he shouldn't be with him. All those are the pitfalls, are the stalking periods, until Lot got off from his territory, until he made the mistake of having a child in I want to put it in quotes now, a child out of wedlock. He had a child out of wedlock, whether the wife advised him or not. He had a child out of wedlock. There's a way. Some dreams are stuck because one spouse misbehaved. One spouse went off the rail. That shouldn't be. Family, it shouldn't be. So let's continue. Abraham is somebody that God spoke to directly. He yielded, he answered the call, and he went according to the instruction given to him by God. But in the way of life, process of life, he missed it. He got stuck. On all those years of 25, doesn't mean he didn't manifest. He manifested because he took some steps. And those steps we're going to get into later. He took some steps so that he was not only got out, but he thrived. He thrived in the promises, in the covenant. He missed it. He slept with the maid. The wife gave him wrong advice. Me and you could have gotten wrong advices. Our husband could have gotten wrong advices. Our vision could have been taken to wrong hands, wrong people. I believe you're getting all what I'm saying. So these are the conditions of life. Then we remember the story of Jacob. If you think you are so smart, go and play with Jacob. Jacob was so smart to the point that the dream, if you go back to the purpose, and when Jacob was still in the womb, what God said about him. So for him to cheat on his brother, it shouldn't be alarming to us. But notwithstanding, the process of life made him to get stuck with Laban. He got stuck to the point that the desired wife that he needed, the desired lady that he wanted, he got stuck for 7 years to get that lady, and got stuck for another 7 years to get the lady Rachel. I don't know if you have anything that correlates with all these stories. You have a plan to go to school, you have a plan to get your degree, but along the line, maybe there was a sickness, maybe there was a detour, maybe there was something that makes your period, your duration to be elongated. Those are stalking situations. Having known about Abraham and also Jacob, we know this common story of Joseph. We all know. How many times did Joseph got stuck in the process of life? He had dream, just like me and you. He had a dream. Me and you, we had dreams as well. I cannot imagine how many people that have told about my dream. I just mentioned my dream to you, my vision to you now. I just mentioned it. I don't know how many you have mentioned your vision too as well. But when you're standing, even when you're stuck, you are sure that one day your standing will turn to walking, your walking will turn to running, and before you know it, you start to soar. And that will be your manifestation by the name of Jesus Christ. So Joseph got stuck. How many times? Me and you will say, oh my God, that family, I will never go to them. That friend, I know, never. He did me wrong. She did me wrong. But alas, I just pray that I will not wear my preaching cap at this point. I just want to be that coach. I want to be that coach. So Joseph got stuck. He got himself, even with his dream. Bible says when he dreamt one, he dreamt another one. I don't know how many dreams that you have dreamt. Don't ask me about mine. I have so many dreams. As I have dreams for myself, I have dreams for my children, I have dreams for my family, I have dreams for my husband. You can imagine, woman. And that is why our slogan, the esteemed woman, has the slogan of build a woman equals building a nation. We have all these networks of people that we build. Thank you. So also me, I have so many visions and dreams that are yet coming alive. Even as I'm talking right now, I don't know how many caps that I have. I mean, how many feathers I have on my cap. I have the feather of a life coach. I have the feather of leadership coach. I have the feather of a preacher. I have a feather of author. I have how many will I count now? Just to compliment what you said, my dear twins. So Joseph, let's go back to where Joseph got stuck. He got stuck into the pit. He got stuck in where he's supposed to even be jolly. He got stuck again with the longing eyes. Bible says longing eyes of Potiphar's wife. Because this woman, because this man was fair. Bible says Joseph was fair in complexion, and more importantly, God was with him. God was with him. Whoever that God is with, we always have longing eyes. We always have longing eyes. So, my dear family, we can be on the story of Joseph till tomorrow. How where he got stuck and got out and went into another one and got out and went into another one and went out and came out. All these are the levels that we might find ourselves, and that is why I am here to empower you to get into one or two of my courses, to be there to lift you up. Even if I don't have the enablement, I know the capability that I have because I'm talking with professional background, and I am talking with experiences of decades. So when you are stuck like this, I call it as like the example of Joseph. I call it the roadblocks. The roadblocks. And in my vision, it's like relating it to the obstacles, the hindrances that is not allowing you to manifest in that vision. The obstacles that is not allowing your mindset to be enlarged. When you get stuck to the past experience, that shows your mindset needed reevaluation and reorientation for it to be able to move forward, because you cannot take the backlog of the past into your future. I have this analysis that I always use when I'm talking about moving forward or failing forward. And that analysis is when you are traveling. Many of us have traveled one way or the other through the plane. There is a recommended number of luggages that we need to carry. And the moment you exceeded that number and you have one or more, you are bound to pay the price. If you're unable to pay the price, it's either you lose that extra luggage or you get stranded. You don't fly. There are so many luggages that is making us to get stuck. And these are the luggages that Joseph overcame. He could have retarded his dream if he gave in to that lady, Potiphar's wife. Unlike Abraham that gave in to the advice. But excuse me, who else should he listen to? He should listen to his wife. But in my own case, it might not be my wife, it might not be my husband, it might be a friend that will give me an advice that would not be the advice of God. So let's just move forward. We don't put all this, we don't put it into, I can see that my battery is going down. Please don't do this for me. Don't do this for me. Battery, don't die. So I'm sorry for this. So at this point in time, all I'm after is the fact that you don't get stuck. Don't wipe it, don't sweep it under the carpet. Don't sweep it under the carpet, please. Don't sweep any situation that you find yourself under the carpet. And once you don't sweep it under the carpet, because it's going to be like cancer. You don't overlook cancer disease. It's just going to multiply and kill immediately. You won't have any hope again. So don't sweep under the carpet. And the difference between you, where you are, I want to rephrase it. The difference between where you are, where you got stuck to move forward, and where you're supposed to be. The difference between that margin is your action. Recently, I had a message over my Instagram page about your action. Do you know that the differences between the wealthy people today, the wealthy people and the poor, is about their action and mindset. That's just the difference. The wealthy people will see little thing, and their mindset will tell them how to engage your needs, to increase it. But the poor people, they will not take action. Just like the story of the talents, parable of talents. So your action is needed if you are stuck. If you are stuck in any position, if your dream is stuck, you needed to know that, because I already mentioned it, that it could be a period for a reevaluation. It could be a period for to analyze or to relearn. So when you are relearning, you needed action. When you are analyzing, you needed an action. When you want restoration, you needed action. So you cannot imagine somebody got stuck and looking for somebody in Africa to be praying over that. There is a room for prayer. There is another room for action. So that is, as that is being said, I want to give us some steps, some things that we needed to do in order to get out of that stuck position. And that is, excuse me, I don't know what is wrong with my pot here. And I hope I'm doing it right. Excuse me. It's just showing. Sorry. I think we're good now. So because I don't know where we are again, but notwithstanding, don't sweep it under the carpet and make sure you take action irrespective of what you are going through. So number one thing is that word action as well. Is the action. What action do you want to do? What action? And I'm going to use the illustration of those three people that the scriptural references. Abraham, what did Abraham do? What did he do? What did Joseph do? What did Jacob do? And that is what is going to help us. So the examples of these three people, I mean, I want you to know that none of them ever gave up their gifts. None of them ever gave up on their dreams or vision. None. So I'm not going to allow you to give up on your dream. No. No. Please share this. I'm not going to allow you to give up on your life purposes. And not once in their history was it written that they threw in the towel. Not once. Joseph never gave up, even when he was in the prison. You know that he was in the prison for what he didn't do, the acts he didn't commit. So you might as well find yourself. So he never gave up. Not even Jacob, as smart as he could, he was rather, he never gave up. When he was given the mandate to spend another 7 years, he just gave in and do it because he knew what he was after. And what are you after? Are you after your dream to be fulfilled? Please, don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. There's no option for giving up. And they all stood their position. They stood their position and they were focused. I want you to know that focus did it right. Focus did it right. Even when Abraham was so confused, even with the advice of the wife, there wasn't no solution yet. He went back to who? To God, who called him. We need to start to know that who called us is God, not your pastor. Your pastor can help you to bring it out if you are yet knowing your vision. But the execution of it shouldn't be woven around the pastor. I believe you understand it. You know what I'm saying. You need to take time to see where you are. You need to take time to analyze where you are, why you are stuck. You could have gotten stuck because of lack of knowledge. You might be ignorant of that, of what the composition or capacity of that vision. You might be. For instance, when I got the vision for womanhood, I actually took time. I started reading about people that had similar. There was a particular woman of God that I literally bought all her books on Amazon. I bought all her books and I started reading it. At the point I finished on that, I picked on another woman of God. Because as at the point of the vision coming unto me, I was so ignorant of the fulfillment. I don't even know how to talk at that time. I don't even know how to make my speeches to correlate with each other. I don't even know how, because another problem I had then was we are running church at that time. So I never knew how I'm going to separate the esteemed woman out of the church. I never knew. So I had to go to conferences. I had to open my mind to workshops. All this cost money. It cost me money because the vision was so clear, was so crisp. So don't allow anything that surrounds you. I might as well give it up, because in my church we had women ministry. But God kept telling me that is not what He sent me. I kept having the same dream, that the vision is for a span, a landed property, a property that is so large that I didn't even see the end in the dream. So, but at that time there was church in between. I didn't want to say I got stuck into church, no, but all the experiences I garnered during those periods too are part of the stepping stones that I have today. So that is why I said, when you get stuck, you need to analyze where you are. You need to reorientate where you are. You need to know the certainty of what you carry, so that you don't entwine it with what is not. Because at the end of the day, that gift is still going to be called for. The owner of the gift will still ask you. You might get stuck because one of the reasons I said to be focused and to be able to see action. These are the action things that you need to do. Take time to analyze and take time to see where you are. You might lack knowledge at that time. It might be you are ignorant. Even the word of God says, my people were destroyed. Because of what? Lack of knowledge. It might be because you might get stuck because you lack help. The tradition where I came from is not really rich. It's not rich in allowing us, in allowing our mindset to seek for help. We have this cultural saying that, let your yam cook finish before you bring it out, or something like that. When you have variety of types of stove that you can use to cook your yam quicker, right? So there's this common saying as well that says, you cover your whatever, you cover your vision. Don't allow others to see. You might get stuck if you keep on covering your vision. Joseph didn't cover his vision even when he knew the thorns that surrounded him. Bible says he dreamt again. You might lack help at that time. It might be the help that you really have to seek by yourself. And it might be the help that has to come from outside. All these, you might get you stuck. You might have this ego. It's not only men that has ego. Ego is such that you know the right thing to do. Again, I want to relate to our culture. The culture where I came from. There's this ego that when one of the family member is making it, and one way or the other, maybe he didn't as expected. Mentality of entitlement. You want him to be dishing out that money and wealth onto you, but he didn't do as you expected. And at that point, you say, "Oh, let him keep his food. God will bring. God will bring." Whereas the food that you're supposed to have value for is at your doorstep, but you won't seek for help. So also, with me that has a large mind, I was able to go into conferences which cost me money. I was able to have coaches. I was able to get mentors. All these were not in my culture at all. It was never in my culture. Today, I can be proud to be a life coach. I know the level of set of people that I coach per period because I was able to seek for help. It might be that age. You might be in that age because you think when you reach certain age, there are some businesses you don't have to do. There are some things you don't. Yes, there could be. But if it is what God has put into your heart, why not pursue it irrespective of your age? When getting stuck doesn't approach age before it gets you stuck. Why can't you just overlook age? Because there wasn't age in the time of Job when he got stuck. Even the Abraham that I mentioned, the time God called him was at the age of 17. 17. And it took him another 20, 25 years before he got the covenant child. Hello, how old are you? So all these are the things that you need to take time to see and analyze. I have so many of those factors. We have wrong mindset. We have wrong attitude. But solutions to this is actually based on your actions. It's based on your actions, family. It's based on your action. If you lack the knowledge, seek for knowledge. If you lack help, don't say because the person that possesses the help that you have, that you needed rather, is younger than you. I want to cite an example. I'm sorry if I'm taking much of your time. Years back, when after graduation, after so many colors of degrees, I got to discover that I needed to be able to sew my dresses. And by the grace of God, my mother was a tailor at that time, was a sewing mistress, London trained sewing mistress. But I never thought of her teaching me. Even with her help, she wanted to teach me by all means because she had so many apprentices that was always coming to our shop at that time. But I never. Until I got to an age that I needed, even when the tailor sews my dress, I still have to complain. So I said I needed to. More importantly, my first two children are girls. So what will it cost me to go and learn how to make dresses? If I had to tell you that the lady that taught me how to make dresses actually was running away from me, because at that time she was calling me mommy. I was more or less a mommy to her. And when I told her my mind and I started going to her shop, she will run away from the shop, from her shop. We call stores shop in Africa. She will run away. She will be begging me, Mommy, please, I will be teaching you at home. Don't come to the shop. So when you lack a knowledge, you need to seek for the knowledge. That is the reason why I'm saying all those stories, irrespective of your age or irrespective of the person that's going to teach you. Please, let that vision come alive. I'm saying please. I'm saying please. Let ego go down the drain. I've never seen somebody that has the ego problem that made it in life. Seek, thank you. Seek for the knowledge. Seek for the knowledge. Knowledge is not too much. By the time you start to apply, today I saw my dresses. Today, I saw, even at a point in time in this America, I had a store to sew for people. I sew for people as business for years and years and years. So no knowledge gain is ever lost. And no ego will take you anywhere. It will just shut down it will just shut down the vision and elongate your stocking position. Another point I want to give to us is to adhere to instructions. Instructions. The point is, who instructs us? Many doesn't even have somebody to instruct. Many doesn't have. With my position, I will say, if I ask anybody now, please, if you can write it at the comments section, please let it come up. Who is your mentor? Do you have a mentor or you have a coach? Who is your mentor? Many of us will say, "Oh, my mentor is Jesus Christ. My mentor is His Holy Spirit." I want to let you know that the Holy Spirit you are talking about will not come physically to hold my hand, to know how to cut that cloth. The Holy Spirit will only inspire my heart to receive the training. But how many of us can go extra mile to pay the price to be mentored so that you get out of that talking position? So now, if you don't even have who to train you, who to teach you, who to put you across, how will you now listen to instructions? And Bible makes me to know in the book of Deuteronomy that in 28, the blessed are those who diligently obey. When you don't listen, how will you obey? So all these three examples that I mentioned earlier on, Father Abraham, Jacob, and Joseph, they all looked up onto somebody teaching them. When Abraham got stuck, even from the advice of the wife, even when he diligently listened to the wife, when that advice didn't work, the wife advised him again to send Hagar out. He listened again. Even when the first instruction didn't work. How well can we humble ourselves to be trained, to be taught? How well can we humble? But even with that, he had to go back to God, who told him that, no, you better listen to your wife, because the covenant child is not from Hagar, but it's from the one I'm yet giving you. It's going to be from that body of Sarah. Adhere to instructions. Your instruction might not come from the spiritual realm. It might be somebody that God will send to you. I cannot imagine how many times my children that God gave unto me instructed me. Adhere to instruction. You know, Joseph was never at any point disobedient to the authority. The authority of Potiphar, he never disobeyed. The authority of the prison, he never disobeyed. Even when he knew within himself that he didn't commit the crime. Even when he was being jailed to go into prison, he never got himself entangled to the system of the prison, but he listened, he obeyed. He got stuck yet, but he's still obeying. Who are you obeying? And as cunning as Jacob was, I don't want to say that he doesn't know how to get out of the tricks of Laban. No. But he was focused on who? On that Rachel. He was just focused that in as much as I'm still alive, I will still be the husband of Rachel. In as much as, is it not just 14 years altogether? I will still be the husband. I believe that will be in his mind. And he ordered his mind to listen to Laban until he got his wife, Rachel. So who are you listening to? That will be my one of the things that you can get out of stocking position. Even when it has to cost Jacob 14 good years, he obeyed. He listens to commands, and he was obedient to the call. Because there will be so many times that you will choose a mentor or a coach, and you will see a reason why she did this or he did that. There will be a reason, because that person is a human being. But what makes you to go to that person should be your focus. It should be your focus. Because that person actually carried some grace that you don't possess. And that is the grace that you need to be focused on and listen. And before you know it, God knows what to do when you are there. The last I want to say, or maybe I should just rush on some of the points that I have, because I have so many. I want you to believe in yourself. When you get stuck in your vision, when you get stuck in your vision or your dream, believe in yourself. Because when you fall, when somebody falls, does not mean that person's end of life has come. I have gotten stuck so many times, even so many times that made me to write a book. My book is on Amazon, From the Marie Clay. It's a memoir of what I passed through before I become who I am today. You can get it on Amazon. So when you fall one time does not mean you should die. Once you still have the life on your path. Joseph got stuck so many times that we mentioned before. Jacob got stuck for 14 good years before he achieved what he wanted. Don't bury your head. Believe in that dream. Believe in you, in yourself, that yes, God deposited this, but that at the appointed time, it might be late, but it will come to pass. Then you need to start to make that baby step. Another point, start to make that baby step to change. That small strides towards your goals. You should make it. An example is Joseph. When he got stuck into the prison, at the time the servant was being released from the prison, he made that servant to know that when you get out there, don't forget me. That is a valid word. Just like you are listening to me now or you are listening to me later, help me to share this because we don't know who God stuck somewhere. You sharing it is you are saving some lives. You making comments could be the question such somebody may have in mind. Take that small steps, those baby steps. Be encouraged with your small wins. When you achieve a level to that actualization of your dream, celebrate yourself. Hooray, I made it to this point. Hooray, I succeeded in this exam. Hooray, I was able to make this pot of soup. Hooray, that's a step. Those baby steps, you should always celebrate it. And you cannot achieve it or get out of the stocking position if you're still ruminating over what brought you there. You're already stuck. So you don't think about what brought you there again, like killing yourself over it. Just know the force that brought you there and celebrate your wins. Let go of the past. That would be another point. Let go of the past. What brought you to that point has already made you to get stuck to that point. I know it could be painful. It could be painful. Getting stuck into the Marie Claire, or getting stuck into a mud, or getting stuck into a stagnant position doesn't smell good, and it doesn't feel good either. But you know what? As I said earlier, it's not the end of life. Celebrate yourself and let go and let God. One of my sisters mentioned it the other time. Let go of your ego. I'm saying it again. Let go and let God. Try to put G at the back of go, and it becomes God. Put D as in David. Put it at the back of God, and that will make God to manifest greatly in your life. And you have to drop it and determine to drop it. I beseech you, determine to drop it. So, having gotten to this level, I want you to, the last one I want to, because of our time, I've even overspent. This is after 1 hour. But the last one I want to give up to us is that we should refine ourselves. What I mean with that is daily reflection. Daily refine and be practical with your vision. How can you do that? I want to use myself as an example. Those periods of training myself, I have a journal that I wrote the vision into. And I have a place on my headboard that I wrote it and stick it on my headboard. Then I have some affirmation words that I always say. You can imagine if you are not conversing with me while I was rubbing my lotion in the morning, you will be hearing me. Day you are above and never beneath. You are not going to submerge into these whims of coronavirus. My body is hale and healthy. I will fulfill my destiny. Why? Because it is written on my mirror, bathroom mirror. So daily you affirm it. Even if there's the devil locked in a corner, the moment you start your day with daily positive affirmation towards your vision, even when devil comes with his tricks, you will overcome it. Devil came with the trick to Joseph, trick of Potiphar's wife. And Bible makes us to know that he said, how will I do this one, and sin against God? Sincerely, in a literal way. Let me shift a little bit from my cap of pastoring. Sincerely. All those people that are into fornication and adultery today, if they ever think or have the mind, whatever that will be the reason under the sun, sin is sin. If they ever think that God is in that room, in that hotel room, in that bedroom, in that office room, if they ever think that God is there, but in their mindset, God is not there. And Joseph too could have thought that way as well, that God is free food now. But Bible says, even his cloth that was held by the woman was left for her. And Bible says Joseph flew. So when with your daily affirmation, your positive affirmation, you get above tricks of the devil. You get above the damages that devil could have succeeded in doing, affecting concerning your vision. I believe one or two words or statements are being released to convince you at this time that if you are the one that is actually tired, if you are tired, if you really think you are sick and tired of being stuck, you need to take the step, take the actionable steps, and celebrate your wins. Know why you are there, know where you're going, and know what you have to drop. Drop the baggages. Drop the extra luggages. Drop your ego. Drop your entitlements. And go for wisdom. Go for knowledge. Go for help. And before the end of the day, you're going to be part of those people that are celebrating their wins, their visions. They manifest in their visions. So at this point, I want to let us know that the difference, I said it the other time, that the difference between the riches, the wealthy people, and the poor people is the actionable steps they take to achieve their goals in life. Excuse me. The actionable steps, the baby steps they take per day. They are committed to their dreams. They are committed to their actions. They are committed to what God has planted into their hearts. They are committed into that business. They are committed to the point that they know that their vision will exceed them. That is for a legacy. So I want to let us know, to round up, that many visionaries that you can think of today, many entrepreneurs that you can think of today, they are waxing stronger in their enterprises because they are not losing their focus. And they are not writing off the role of coaches in their lives. If time permits me, I can still mention few of the wealthy people that you can think of. You can even Google, you can Wikipedia them. Many of all these wealthy people, even when they have the wealth, they still have coaches that surrounds them. They have coaches that enhance their personalities. They have coaches that enhance their purposes. They have coaches all around them. You cannot imagine an athlete that overlook the importance of coach. That athlete had already gotten his results without getting to the sport arena. Go and Google people like Michael Jordan, Princess Diana, Bill Gates. Go and Google them. Go and Google Oprah Winfrey. Up till now, Oprah Winfrey still has coach. Their There are so many areas of our life that we needed to be coached on. In my case, I have business coach. I went through the training of becoming a life coach. I went through the certification of being a leadership coach. Even the books that I wrote, I had coach that puts me through. Today, I can teach you on how to write your book. Put your ideas in the book. Today, I know the process. So every area of our lives that of your vision that you think you need a coach, don't shy away from it. Don't shy away from it. All these names that I mentioned, Princess Diana, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, all have the same thing in common. They have coaches. They have coaches. They have coaches. Think of it so that you don't get stuck. That coach, one way or the other, have gotten stuck in one way or the other in his or her life. And he will teach you on how not to get stuck, probably again. And we carry that mantle upon himself that you succeed, just the way he or she had succeeded as well. It will cost you money, because several of mine cost me money. And by the grace of God, if you are thinking in that route, go to my website, get involved on how not to get stuck again. My website is my name, bosedeadetunji.com, www.bosedeadetunji.com. On that platform, you'll see all other things that I do or that I represent. So at this point, if you need help to be mentored, if you need help, because there's difference between mentoring and coaching. So don't hesitate to give me a call, to write me an email, or to visit my website. And at this point, I want to round up, and I don't want to round up, and I will never round up without depositing this statement onto you. You know, the top awaits your manifestation. And I will be there to welcome you. I will be there to celebrate you. I will be there to celebrate that purpose. The top still awaits your manifestation. The top still needed that vision to come alive. The top still needed that vision to become a legacy. Don't hesitate, and don't ever give in or throw in the towel. I am truly yours, Bosede Adetunji, the convener and founder of The Esteemed Woman, life and leadership coach. I needed your referrals to be a speaker in any of your events. And at the same time, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel name is The Esteemed Woman. Even if you put my name, you will see The Esteemed Woman. Just subscribe to any of all these courses. This is elongated, this is long, because it is part of the book that I'm compiling. So let's go and let God. See you next time, God willing, and I will be at the top to welcome you on top and to celebrate you and celebrate your purpose. May you be blessed. There shall be testimony in the name of Jesus Christ. God bless you. Bye-bye.